Now, what is the data transfer option here, which is that we have data box. What is DataBox? DataBox is a secure, ruggedized appliance for offline data transfer, especially when moving large volumes of data to Azure and when there is network constraint. Now, this applies mainly to file size of more than 100 terabytes. I had shown the calculator earlier, last video. If you haven't seen that, please feel free to check the link below. But this is where you will be able to do the calculation, and based on that, you'll be able to understand that, okay, this is remotely about 75 terabyte to 100 terabyte, more than that. It is expensive. It is not a cheap service. And also they will be shipping the data in ruggedized, like a suitcase in box will be there, and they'll be shipping the data in there. Now, there is a similar service, which is import-export service that used to be there, wherein it will be shipping the disks, the disk size, to Azure, and it is kind of similar, but it's now sort of like clubbed together. There's not much difference, which is why I just put it together. Import, export, and Azure Data Box. So let me show you what this really is in Azure. I won't be able to show you much here because this is again the option. So let me go here. Even if I search, say, import, export, right? Even if I search, there'll only be one option here, which is like a data box. So because now Azure has clubbed it together. So that is what you could see. You could come here, you could give data box. And what you'll have to do is you'd have to apply for this, because Azure will need to know, okay, when they need to ship and what is the data they need transferring, which region it is. Again, those country governance laws will come in. But this is where you will have to create this data box setup. And if you see here, what is usually mainly the use cases that you import to Azure, unless there is a requirement that the customer wants to move the data out from Azure. But this is where you would choose import to Azure. You will provide the subscription, which subscription you want to do. In this case, I just have one subscription. What is the resource group? I will just choose the dev resources in which what the storage account which the data resides. What is the country here? I'll just give USA. And what is the destination Azure region? I'll just choose it as East US. Now, when I do this apply, what I will see is the comparison, different comparison options that I will be seeing. Now, as you can see, right, the thing is not available for the selected subscription type. And this is where you'll be able to provide this, like you'll be able to send a request to the operations team. You'll be able to open a support ticket. And based upon the inputs provided with them, you'll have to coordinate with them on how exactly the data will have to be transferred. But if you see here, you have three options. You have DataBox Disk, you have DataBox, and you have DataBox Heavy. What is DataBox Disk is? It's ideally suited for 30 terabyte per order. DataBox is for 80 terabyte, while Heavy is for 800 terabyte or close to 1 petabyte of data. Now, this is where you will see for the comparison. With DataBox Disk, it has up to 5 disks per order. And the DataBox itself has 10 days use at no extra cost, where you can have this capacity. And DataBox Heavy is 20 days use at no extra cost you can get. And now DataBox Disk, it supports blobs files where the data will need to be transferred to. What other storage it could do? You have blobs files. So just keep this in mind when choosing the required option. And then you have DataBox as well to support all these options: blob files, managed disks, and Gen2 accounts. Similarly over here. And there's storage that will copy data to, you can copy in for DataBox Disk to one storage account. While in DataBox, you'd copy the data across 10 storage accounts, because it could very well be that you have different storage accounts and you want to transfer the data at one shot. So this is where it becomes very important to choose the right selection here. And then similarly, DataBox Heavy as well. You can copy data across 10 different storage accounts. And what is the technology used? The DataBox that uses the SATA interface. The DataBox that uses the gigabyte 1 by 1 by 10 gigabytes interface. And then the DataBox Heavy is 4 by 1 gigabytes, and then 4 by 40 gigabytes interface. What this provides is the speed at which the data can be transferred. Obviously, the larger the one it is, the gigabyte speed, the better your transfer copy speed would be. And what is the pricing? You can refer the pricing here, but essentially this will be able to provide you more input. Now, what is the 1 terabyte here? The option that you will see it, you can send the disks. And this is where I was saying it is Azure has now clubbed it together in one, where we have one option to transfer the data. And if you can send 10 disks, you have the SATA and SSD disks, and these are hard disks again. It is not like the different, right, where you can ship it. So, and then you have the data to one storage account. You have a TUSD handling fee per disk. If the number of disks are more, the cost is going to be increasing as well. So here, if I just choose, because this is the only option available for these ones, I will have to open a case and work with them to send the appliance, which is the suitcase which comes and will take the data is very secure. There's no issues in that. But just you'll have to be aware of this. If I do select, I can provide further information on what exactly is the job name. I can provide job details. What is the storage account it needs to be moved to? What are the files over here? And this in the security, if I come, what is the different security option? And if I return shipping, what is the carrier I would need to choose for return shipping? I would need to provide all those details. And once I do that, I can review and create. And this is something you can do yourself. You don't need to open a support, because what this is that you are going to be shipping your disks. Unlike Azure, where unlike a data box, which is going to be coming, appliance is going to be coming and taking the data, this is shipping the disk. So I hope this clarifies what is the data box and import export option.